Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Ken and welcome to this video. This video is a list of the WWE superstars I believe deserve/need a push. Now, I have, I believe, 11 superstars here. There are 3 women's wrestlers and the rest are male wrestlers. And yeah, we're just going to run through who I believe should be pushed. Now, as you can see here, obviously number 1 is Heath. Well, number 10, 11 is Heath Slater. That's what we're starting it up with. As you can see here, he's been employed since 2006 with the WWE. He's 33 years of age, and WWE have done nothing with him. I feel bad for the bloke. He's been in a bunch of stables, factions, whatever you want to call them, and the Social Outcasts broke up. He didn't get drafted, but I was impressed with him on SmackDown. He's good on the mic and he can kind of wrestle. And yeah, I just believe he should really, be pushed because he really deserves to be pushed. So yeah, as I said, this guy has been with the company for years and years and years. And they've basically done nothing with him. He's a former champion. He knows how to perform. So WWE have faith in Heath Slater. Next up, we have Summer Rae. Now, she has been under the with WWE for a little while now. She was in NXT with Fandango, as you'd know. And she's a decent wrestler, and she's just used kind of as a jobber. She's occasionally on Raw, and yeah, a lot of other people think she deserves a push because she's been left out in this whole kind of divas, not divas revolution, but revolution as they like to call it. And yeah, she's a really good heel, and that they definitely messed her up with that Rusev storyline, but she's a really good heel as we saw in NXT, so she deserves a push. Next up, we have Neville. Now, I know he just came back and he competed in a match. He didn't go too well in the match, but he had a fantastic run in NXT. My favourite match of his was probably the match against Seth Rollins for that championship. I'm sure you all know and remember it. And before he got injured, they weren't doing anything with him at all. He was just kind of in matches, I guess. Also hate how they got rid of Adrian in his name and now it's just Neville. But anyway, so yeah, Adrian or Neville definitely deserves a bit of a push. He was in a tag team with Corey Graves. As you'd also know, Corey Graves has been mentioning that a bit. And yeah, he is just returned, and I believe he deserves a bit of a push. Next up, this guy is so undertreated. Tyler Breeze. At some point in this year, he was 0-49. I feel so bad for this guy because if you watch him in NXT, he was freaking mind-blowing. He was great, and obviously Vince must not like him. So let's just see what he's doing now. Nothing. Well, he's in Breezango, better than what he was doing earlier. But I just feel so bad for the guy because he's such a good worker, and he's been doing whatever they tell him to for way too long, just jobbing out. And yeah, he was great in NXT. Was it him who had the match against Jushin Thunder Liger? Yeah, it was. Here, Jushin Thunder Liger. And he still is great. His gimmick is there, but I just think he deserves a push. Next up, we have Naomi. Now, Naomi was in NXT. I watched that whole NXT season, and she was like the best one in that NXT season. Then, as you can see here, she went on to be in the Funkadactyls, which definitely brought her down since she was great in NXT and a great talent. And then she was with the Usos for a bit, and then with Team Bad, and now she just came back. And I think she came out after Alexa Bliss on SmackDown. followed by Carmella, followed by Eva Marie. So yeah, she definitely deserves a push as she's a great, she's pretty good on the mic and she's a great wrestler. So yeah. Next one is an Australian. It is Emma. Now, she actually comes from the same state as me, and she definitely deserves a push. You guys might not think this, but oh, look there, Melbourne City Wrestling. Anyway, you guys may not think this, but she, like, the women's division wouldn't be where it is without her. She had the first revolutionary match against Paige in NXT, and from there, the women's division has been brought up. Now, we wouldn't have the women's championship, and we'd still be calling them the Divas. We wouldn't have basically anything. So, she came up to the main roster for a bit, and did her little goofy gimmick with Santino. I don't really like that, but you know. Then she went back down to NXT for a while. Then she came up with Dana Brooke, but then she went and got injured, and then they messed it all up by putting Dana Brooke with Charlotte. So she was getting a bit of a push, but now I'm not too sure what she's going to do when she comes back. She was also going to be in a feud with Becky Lynch, which would have been great. Next, you all love him. We all love him. You all love him. It's Enzo and Cass. These guys just especially Enzo, just you feel the charisma, don't you? And you know, they're great. I also hate how they don't call him Colin Cassidy. You'll always be known as Colin Cassidy. Anyway, Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy. Jesus Christ. These guys are the most over people on the roster, and they definitely deserve to be brought up. Not brought up, given a push. Everyone just, you know, does their routine, this and that. They were great in NXT as well with Carmella, and they've had a few, you know, title matches. But, you know, I'm happy in the draft. They were drafted to the same brand. You know, the realest guys in the room, you know. Alright guys, on to the next little addition here in our top 11. We have Sami Zayn. This guy, 32 years of age. He was El Generico. I'm sure you all know who El Generico is. He has wrestled all around the world. He's fantastic. He should be up there in a title picture. Preferably the Intercontinental Championship along with Kevin Owens. Him and Kevin Steen, Kevin Owens have had great times all around the world. And in WWE. My favourite matches of his were probably probably the Shinsuke Nakamura, John Cena, Kevin Owens, or Fatal 4-Way. Those are probably my favourite matches of his. I believe they are all great matches. And yeah, just he's a great superstar. And yeah, he should be feuding with this guy, just like John Cena and Randy Orton have kind of feuded. Kevin Owens. I prefer Kevin Owens over Sami Zayn, but you know, fun fact, he's actually French. Yeah, again, 32 years of age, I believe. Kevin Owens is just a few months older than Sami Zayn. And he's wrestled all around the world, and he finally got picked up by WWE a few months after Sami Zayn. And yeah, he's had some great matches. John Cena, him and John Cena always put on good matches. And yeah, he is just a great superstar. He should be feuding with Sami Zayn for that title, and also, of course, have other feuds here and there. He's a two-time Intercontinental Champion. He's a great bloke. And yeah. Next up, Bray Wyatt. I don't know how this guy isn't in the main event already. He's freaking great. Fun fact, he's brothers with Bray Dallas. Well, Bray Dallas is his brother. He's not brother. Anyway, I don't know how this guy isn't in the main event picture. He is a fantastic wrestler. Fantastic on the mic. The second best member of the Wyatt family of all time, probably not Eric Rowan, freaking Luke Harper. Yeah, he was Husky Harris, as I'm sure you all know. And yeah, he's just fantastic. He does everything just great. And I actually wanted him to win the six-pack challenge on SmackDown, but he didn't. Dolph Ziggler won, and the reason Dolph Ziggler isn't on this list is because he is in the world title picture. Anyway, yeah, the Wyatts, just fantastic. Well, Bray Wyatt, and yeah, I don't know, this guy's been so underused. And yeah. Next up, Claudio Castagnoli, Antonio Cesaro. Antonio Cesaro, whatever you want to call him. This guy, whoa! Uppercuts, great wrestling moves all over the ring. Again, look, he's wrestled in Brutus Shaft, he's wrestled CZW, Ring of Honor, PWG, Pro Wrestling Noah, all around the world. He came to WWE, had the United States Championship. He was part of the Real Americans with Jack Swagger. He teamed with Tyson Kidd, which I believe is the best part of his career. That's the part I enjoyed the most. And he's gone on to have some fantastic matches. This guy, he isn't necessarily a jobber. He just wrestles all the time and doesn't really pick up the win that often, but he's great. Anyway, guys, this was in no specific order. My favourite wrestlers out of this whole list, not my favourite wrestlers of all time, but my favourite wrestlers out of this list are probably the last five: Enzo and Cass, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Bray Wyatt, and Cesaro, but the rest of them are all fantastic. Anyway, guys, I'm Can You Be Joined? Until next time, peace.